happy Thursday. So I'm still going with my 4-day challenge. Now, mind you, today was one of those days that I was just like, I'm not gonna go live. I got too much work to do, and I got a lot of stuff going on in this personal life of mine this morning. But I'm going to stick with my challenge. I'm gonna commit to it. So let's get it. So today I'm talking about when to expect your tax refund after you file your tax return. And the reason why is because if you don't know, we started hub testing yesterday. And what hub testing is when software companies get allocated certain days after week prior to the IRS officially opening to everybody else, where they can send a select amount of tax returns out that can come back accepted or rejected, just like you filing in regular time. And because of that, a lot of people are going to be expecting their refund, soon, because they might have got an acceptance on their tax return. And so I wanted to talk about the different time frames that you can actually receive your refund. So for one, if you're going out doing hub testing, a lot of times it's people who might got their W-2 really early, self-employed people, and definitely people who got both of them and they actually applied for cash advances. Those are going out to the IRS right now or whatever, but it doesn't matter if your return has been accepted or not. What matters is what types of credits and deductions are on your tax return. A lot of times determine when you're going to get your refund. And even with that, it still could take a long time because certain things can happen after it's transmitted to the IRS. And being that returns are being transmitted, hi Vicky, being that returns are being transmitted to the IRS during hub testing, if you didn't understand what hub testing is, it's literally we sending returns to the IRS during their testing phase. So meaning they can have all kinds of things going on the days we're sending them out. God forbid they do, but it could. So it's important for you to know that. So for example, if you have the earned income tax credit or the additional child tax credit on your tax return, then we are still in PATH that still applies, meaning that the IRS by law cannot process your tax return until after February 15th. So they can't even process it until after February 15th. So that means if you went and got a cash advance, your return has been accepted, and you got those two credits on your tax return, you shouldn't be looking at where's my refund right now. You definitely shouldn't be looking at where's my refund right now doing hub testing. Okay? But where's my refund don't do a whole lot before February 15th. So you really are kind of wasting your time by looking at where's my refund because they're not going to release a date until after February 15th. Now, for those people who might not have earned income tax credit and additional child tax credit, and that's usually like people who are single, people who make I want to say high income, but some high income people do qualify for additional child tax credit. But a lot of single people who just only have child tax credit on their taxes and not additional child tax credit, those people can process in IRS regular processing time, meaning their refund can return can process within the 8 to 21 days window. So you will see some people getting dates possibly towards the end of January. And why? Because they don't have those two credits on their tax return. A lot of people think, hey, good morning, Katja. A lot of people think that people with kids do not get their refund until after February 15th, and that's not true. It's two specific credits. which is the earned income tax credit and the additional child tax credit. Some people just have the child tax credit. And with that, the child tax credit and additional child tax credit seems interchangeable. They're on the same wavelength as far as similar requirements. The only difference is one is refundable, one is non-refundable. Some people don't get the refundable portion. Some people just get the non-refundable portion. And because of that, they don't have to wait. So I know every year people with kids that you might know get a date, get their refund, and then by some miracle you think that you are going to get a date. You're not going to get a date if you have those credits on there. I promise you you're not. You're not going to get a date until after February the 15th. So make sure y'all remember that. And again, you should not be checking where's my refund right now, especially if it's hub testing. The IRS has not officially opened yet. And then hub testing is only specific days and specific times. So that means people who might get their taxes prepared after this week dates, you might not get an acceptance on your tax return until next week. So if you don't have an acceptance on your tax return within the 24-hour range, that means that the software company has not sent your return out just yet. And we don't know if they're going to send it out or not. To me, most of the time, they send majority of the ones that have submitted out within the dates of the hub testing. But we can never promise you that your return is going to actually go out and you're going to get an acceptance or a rejection before the 26th. Because it's testing, anything can change. So the official dates that you need to remember is the IRS do not officially open until the 26th. Yes, we can send returns now, but it might not go to the IRS. So yeah, keep that in mind. And the other thing is if your return get flagged. So there's different reasons your tax return can get flagged, and some of those reasons are dependent verification, income verification, dependent income and identity verification. So those three different things. If you do income flag for income verification, that means that nothing on your tax return needs to be mismatched. That means you should have not left anything off. That means if you left off a $2 W-2 and it's reported to the IRS, you're going to have to do an amendment on your return. That's why we always tell y'all, do not leave stuff off of y'all return. But if you get flagged for income verification, a $2 W-2 can have your return held up for months. Then you have dependent verification. Dependent verification is where they want you to prove that you took care of that kid is related to you, and that kid lived with you. So that's dependent verification. And then ID verification, they want to know that you are who you say you are. That you actually filed whatever return has been submitted on you. ID verification, they pretty much want you to answer specific questions. I don't know. I think they do an ID or they do take a picture. My assistant help everybody with that if they need help. So I don't be doing it, but I don't know if it's ID, you give them a copy of your ID, or you take a picture. It's one of them. But at any rate, they want you to do that. They want you to answer some questions about yourself or whatever, and then you're verified. Then, lastly, you can get flagged for no reason at all. Okay, no reason at all. It happens every year. And clients get mad and then decide they want to go somewhere else because they think you don't did something to their tax return because they got flags. Anybody can get flags, literally. Anybody can get flagged. Why? Because the IRS is a computerized system. And during the whole tax season, they can have a malfunction in the technology, and your return might get sent out the day they had a malfunction, and you got caught up in their system. meaning that you got flagged. Now they got to review your tax return to make sure there's nothing they need to verify before they're releasing. And it might not be nothing you have to do to get it released, but the fact that somebody has to actually review it. And so that's how it works. And to let you know, like if your return get flagged, the reason why it takes weeks for it to be released or even months for it to be released, and why tax pros, it ain't nothing we can do about it. And that is because somebody physically has to review your tax return. An IRS agent has to physically review your tax return. Now, I know they be short staffed, and it might take forever for somebody to get around to your tax return. So that's the reason why it takes a long period of time if you get flagged. So if you get flagged, honestly, you shouldn't be waiting for your return no time soon. The only one that I know that get released within weeks for real is the identity verification. The income verification, they be taking forever on. The dependent verification, they be taking forever on. And if you get flagged for no reason, they take forever on. And then don't let me forget the fifth one, which is the fraud. Okay, so if you got any of those crazy credits on your tax return that the IRS has filtered for fraud, then yours gonna be held up for dear life, and you probably, good morning, you probably won't get it because they've got to the point where now certain credits they have filtered out, and they are going to flag a majority of them. They're getting way better than they used to be. Now, if some people might slide through the crack, it's a computerized system. So just because you slip through the crack, though, do not mean that they're not going to come back and get you. And so just be careful. And it's probably going to be double time the fraud this year because it's a lot of new credits out. And I'm sure the fraudsters are going to utilize them, how they want to. But at any rate, let me tell you, those are all the reasons why when your actual tax refund will come. So it just depends on what category you fall in. It's going to determine when yours is going to come. And I just advise you all, do not compare yourself to anybody else because everybody is different. Everybody's situation is different. Some people don't get flagged. Some people go straight through the system. They might get their refund in 3 days. Some people might go straight through the system and they get theirs in 7 or 8. Some might go through the system and it might take 2 weeks. And some might go through the system and it takes the whole 3 weeks. And so it's really honestly no way for us to know when you're going to get your refund. And then they have like Benita said she didn't get hers last year. They asked for 6 weeks and said they need not from me, just wait. Yeah, they do that. And it takes them a long time. And then I'm going to say this, like if yours is over 21 days and you don't think nothing is possibly wrong with yours, like they haven't sent you a letter asking for you to do something in specific, like verify your dependent, verify your income, or verify your identity, and it's over your 21 days, then that's when you possibly might want to get a tax advocate. A tax advocate is a third party. They work on your behalf to try to communicate with the IRS to help get your refund released quicker. They're the only people that have a chance, really honestly, to get your refund released quicker outside of just the IRS releasing it. Okay, so that's just so that y'all know. I just wanted to do what I said I was gonna do. Come live, make sure I'm continuing to educate y'all. If you're looking for a tax pro, I do taxes. I know I talk about stuff for tax professionals all the time, and that's my other side of my business, but I still am here doing tax returns. So if you need a new tax pro or you're looking for someone who is educated really about the tax law, then definitely check me out. I do in-office appointments, face-to-face appointments. in Columbus, Georgia, and in the Atlanta area in my Stone Mountain location. And I also take returns or information 24/7 on my website. I'll put it in the comments. My sister's usually on here, putting it in the comments. But baby, we got stuff going on today. But I'll put it in the comments. So if you're looking for a tax pro, you can. And I'm not one of those tax pros. I know y'all on here, but I'm talking to the taxpayers. I'm not one of those tax pros that do not do estimates. I do estimates as long as it's not a complex return. Like if there ain't a lot of complexity to it, then we can get you a estimate. So if you're looking for a new tax pro, definitely come check us out. Okay, y'all, I gotta go. Got work to do. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.